Hi everyone, welcome back to my next video. Today we're here with Roxy, just outside of Page, Arizona. Beautiful country here, we love it here. And we're continuing to talk about the problem of being lost and needing help while in a remote area. And so Roxy, we have set you up with 3 devices. And tell us one by one what we have here.
Okay, this is the Spot, and I've been using this for a couple of months now. It's a personal locator beacon, and it's kind of basic, but it's actually pretty cool. It has 5 buttons to push. One of them is just an OK check-in. One of them is called Breadcrumb. It's for tracking when you're hiking. The other is you can send a personal message to somebody. It has to be pre-typed up on your computer before you go on your trip. The other one is a help, and then there's the SOS. And then this is, I actually haven't done anything with this one yet. It's purely for, you absolutely have to be rescued. The fines for this would be out through the roof if you were to use it just for a sprained ankle or something. This one I've actually only been using I'm on my 5th day, I believe. And I love it. I love the Spot as well, but I love this for a different reason, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that.
Today we're going to talk about the Spot. You've been using it for a couple months now. Is that right?
Yes. So I've mostly just been using it to set off. I've activated and done a spot check-in as I've been traveling. So I have a record of where I've been, and my family and friends have been able to see where I'm at everywhere I go, and they've been loving it.
Let's explain how it works. The Spot sends a message. It's a DeLorme product, and you sign up for a year. The device is $150, although you can usually get it on sale, and $150 for the year for the whole 12-month service. And then the device talks to DeLorme.
Yes. So it goes. It sends a GPS signal. When you push the check-in, it sends a GPS signal, and then it sends out the GPS signals to your family and friends. With this one, you can do as many messages as you want, send as many to as many people as you want, and you can send it to them by email or to their phone or both. There is the check-in, and it's purely, I just have, hi, I'm all is well, I'm loving and living life, so they know that I'm okay. And it sends them a link to where I'm at, so they can look at it on their phone or the computer and see where I'm at. They can look at it. The other message, this is a personal message, you can send to the list.
I also noticed it went to Facebook.
It can go to Facebook and Twitter. I actually don't have it set up to do that, because I don't want people to know exactly where I'm at, the whole world, because I'm traveling on my own. I might do it the next day if I wanted to do that. I post on Facebook later and let them know where I've been instead.
So you can send out one, if you have no cell signal, you can push that, and everyone that you want to know about where you are will know.
Yeah. So on this one, I have it set up just to tell them that I'm going for a hike now, either on a trail or off trail. And so before I go, I push that. They know that I'm going hiking, and if they want to, they can follow me. If I activate this middle button, which shows it's got a little boot, if I activate that, then it leaves a breadcrumb trail, and once they get this message, they can go to, there is a password protected webpage, and they can go to it and they can actually follow my hike.
Very cool.
Which is pretty cool. Yes.
So your friends and loved ones or your Facebook group, you're just staying in touch outside of cell signal.
Yeah.
you've been sending them to me. I'm on your list.
Yeah.
And I get an email from Delorme, or it's actually from findmespot.com. I click on it, the link, and then I go to a page on their website, and it has the map and your message, whatever your message is that day, and I know exactly where you are. And I fell in love with it, because if I have a loved one that I worry about, and a lot of your family and friends probably do, and you can tell them all the time, I'm okay and this is where I'm at, and they can follow your adventures. And you've been doing that.
I've been doing that, yeah. And my dad in England has been getting these messages, and he has loved it. So then there's the two other features, of course. There's the SOS for an emergency, which you only use, of course, not for a sprained ankle.
Why do you only use it in emergencies?
It would cost a fortune if you were to set that off, and they sent out helicopters and rescue crews and everything out into the middle of nowhere, and then found out you limping along the trail, or just, okay. So the other option, if you're in trouble, like you have a sprained ankle, or you really can't walk on it, but it's not a life-threatening emergency, you have this option to ask your family and friends to send help. So if I was to send this and Bob received it, he could call up a friend of mine and say, hey, or a friend of his, you're in the area, will you go out and check on Roxy?
So this device is actually a little better device. It has better electronics, more likely to get a signal than the Spot. It's more expensive, but it's all or nothing. You only use this just before you die. I mean, or death. You can see death coming. And this device gives you something in between.
Yeah.
A really nice step in between.
Yeah. There is an option you can add on to this service for $30 a year extra, and it is called the Spot SOV. It's Save Our Vehicle. And if you activate that, it will go out and tow you out of sand in the back of Beyond, things like that. Now, if you activate that, you lose you lose this help button, because it is then entirely used for vehicle rescue. So you can't send a message to your family at that point.
And and it's $30 a year.
It's $30, yeah.
Which is cheap roadside service.
Yeah.
And by far the most likely thing to happen to any of us is that we go somewhere and we get stuck, but we don't have cell signal, or we go somewhere and the van won't start. But here's the thing: if you're off-road, very far off-road at least, most roadside services will not come to you, because they just don't go off-road. They don't go off pavement. But this service will go to you where you are and winch you out, or jump you, or give you gas, whatever you need. So I got to tell you that as soon as I started getting the messages from Roxy about the Spot, I decided I would get one, because I liked it so much. The roadside service is worth it to me, knowing that if I break down, I can get someone wherever I am, or if I get stuck. Being able to leave out messages to all my friends, to send it to Facebook, would be well worth it to me. But the one thing that appealed to me is I camp all year in many hundreds, you do too, hundreds of different places. And so I've always wanted to be able to keep a record of all my campsites, the GPS coordinates, photos, and the Spot will allow you to do that.
It will allow you to do that. It's it's not my favorite program, software program. I've got to be honest about that. It's online, and I can actually record and make little albums of where I've been and import the waypoints into it, and then it's there online for anybody to look at.
The few things you want it to do, it will do. But some of the social stuff doesn't seem to be all that well done.
It uploads the waypoints and the maps okay.
But it gives you so much value otherwise that it's still more than worth the cost of admission.
Yeah, that's just a frills thing. But the Spot itself, I love it.
Good. So
Yeah.
you love it. That's your
I
recommend.
do.
That's
I
what
love
your
it.
statement.
And I will definitely keep one myself and activate one myself.
You'll spend your money
Yeah,
to
I
own it.
will.
You like it
Yeah.
that much.
Yeah.
And you're on a pretty tight budget.
I'm on a really tight budget.
There aren't many people out there as tight a budget as you are. And so you've played with it, and we can pass judgment on it. You've had it a couple months.
Yes.
And so we've just started with the InReach.
Yes.
And so we're not going to do a review of the InReach. We're just going to give you an initial impression, and we'll do another video on the InReach. So give us the once over on the InReach.
Okay. The InReach does a lot more than the Spot. You can actually use this to you can set waypoints ahead of time, and you can use it to track. You can use it to find your route. You can follow your route on it. And you can send messages with no cell phone reception, but you can also actually type in a message while you're out there and send it by satellite. It can be connected to your smartphone, and you can use your smartphone to see where you're going. So the map is bigger. This is a tiny screen. You can actually look at your smartphone and see where you are, and on your smartphone you'll have a topographic map, so you can tell a lot better. You can see where you are, you can see where you need to go to get back to where you started. You can also use it to send messages, and you can type messages because you're doing it like a text. It's much easier. And you can also post to Facebook and Twitter.
So I've been really impressed. You were in a slot canyon in Utah.
Yeah.
And no cell signal. No chance of communication. And you and I have been messaging each other by satellite on the InReach.
It's been very cool.
Yeah. Basically, it's a satellite phone that doesn't do voice, would be a good summary. You can only send text messages, and you can type the text messages on its little screen, which is very difficult.
It's very time consuming, but in a life or death situation, you know, it could be very useful if you don't have a smartphone, or your smartphone battery is dead, or you dropped it in the sand, or it got wet, or whatever. This would you'd still be able to send a message from this.
But it's expensive. The device was $350, so it's a satellite phone, and there's a lot more technology going on in there. Even if it's not voice only text, it's about $100 a month.
Yeah.
But if you went more months, it would go down.
It goes down, yeah.
If I'm going to Alaska, and I know I'm going to be out of cell service, then I can pay for a month or two. Or if you know you're going to be in a slot canyon, if you have a cell phone, use your cell phone. Yeah, you've already paid for that.
Yeah, yeah. So out here, I mean, we're in Utah, or Arizona-Utah border, and I was down House Rock Valley Road. They have put more towers up there, but I couldn't get cell reception, so this was wonderful.
Yeah. So after a week, we'll do a full review later when you've had enough time to really test it. But after a week, what's your impression?
I love this. I couldn't afford it, but out here in Utah, I think it would be worth it for a month. If you're going to be going and doing a lot of hiking in way out there places where there's absolutely no cell reception, I think this would be worth paying for a month of adventure or something.
Well, we'll do a full review on that later, and we'll do a final roundup of all these devices. But for right now, you're giving it 2 big thumbs up to the Spot.
Yes.
And if you can afford it, so far, you would give this one also a thumbs up.
Yeah, if you're going to be really adventurous, I think this is a great way to go.
Okay, so but we've answered one of the most common questions I get. What am I going to do if I break down? What am I going to do if I have a medical emergency? There is technology today that will allow you to solve that problem quite easily. The Spot will do it. Okay, well, thanks for watching. Thank you, Roxy, for testing these for us.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you've been enjoying it.
Yes, I have.
Okay, so hope you've enjoyed these videos, and if you have, like us on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, and we'll visit with you later.